The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
And welcome Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
.07 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
Rafferty sitting 5th in the standings. Jesse Isidore 7th. Caleb Ramsey 10th. And Tyler Bowman 12th. So a lot going on right there. Tater Williams, this is going to be a critical night tonight for him, as he's 64 points back of Dylan Perry. And before we wrap up tonight's notebook, I do want to once again make you aware of the breaking news that hit the wire 8 hours ago. That's right, all about the Icebreaker 100. It's once again going to be held this year at the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway on December 19th and 20th. It's going to be the biggest event of the calendar year for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Last year paid out $1,000. This year is going to be at least that, maybe more. But it all will be live here on the Extreme eSpeed Network. Do want to mention once again the special guest drivers for round 1. You got Ashton Winger out of Hampton, Georgia, Sam Seawright out of Fort Payne, Alabama, and Mike Knuckles out of Seymour, Tennessee. So their resume is quite extensive. We want you to make sure that you reserve your spot today before they're sold out. And if you need to see the event format, just head to the Pro Late Model Dirt Series page to learn more. And with that, Travis, that wraps up the first notebook in the month of May for us.
Well, and we are about to get to racing action here. We're about 5 minutes from cars getting on the track for Houston Guttering time trials. As we said, it is Florida-Georgia Speedweek, and we have night number 2 of racing action here on Extreme eSpeed TV for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Before we get out, they are having their drivers meeting now, so we'll take one more quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got cars on the track, time trials to set the heats for tonight. From Lanier, you're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
Welcome back to Lanier National Speedway. We're here in Brazelton, Georgia, as we are set for night number 2 of the Florida-Georgia Speedweek here for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. And Adam, looking at who we did have one more addition. Brett Carlton did pull his car out of his hauler. So we should have 17 cars here for Houston Guttering Time Trials. But you've got to look at the timing from practice and think, Austin McGlone showed up, Tater Williams, but you've got the rookie Jesse Isidore up there along with Brandon Combs.
Yeah, good for Jesse Isidore. You know, he finished 8th last night, and you mentioned us having about 17 drivers now. If it does shake out that way, that's 3 fewer than what we had last night. And 20 drivers is, I'd say it's a decent field, but there's opportunity tonight. But yeah, you mentioned these fast times. Austin McGlone finishing 4th last night, not on the podium, much to the happiness of Bobby Rafferty. We'll see if Rafferty can maybe get back up there again. So these fast times, these are no surprises right now, but I'd like to see another guy maybe make a podium debut. That might be crazy to think, just with how strong these top 5 drivers have been all year. But you know, we've seen crazier things happen. So I'd love to see that. I think the surface is going to play well in the driver's favor. I think the guys, I don't have any problem. I think we're past the point of where it's, you know, I'm still trying to figure out how this guy drives. You know, these guys, you know, outside of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, they're getting plenty of laps in with each other. I think we're past that point of, you know, first impressions, I guess you could say. So it's going to be a good night tonight, and I think these guys are going to race pretty aggressive.
So looking at the point standings, as you mentioned, Dylan Perry's got 5 wins on the year. Tater Williams 2, Austin McGlone 2 as well. So we'll see if we add a winner to our list here in 2023 tonight. But first up, we're going to have Houston Guttering Time Trials from Lanier. And Adam, we're going to see who's going to be part of that first group that takes the track here, as it looks like Aiden Young may be amongst them. Bobby Rafferty out there as well, as you see them preparing to head out on the track and lay down a time. Andy Piercefield, Caleb Ramsey look like those will be your first 4.
All right, well, if it is the 77 of Bobby Rafferty, a rookie out of Middletown, New York, with Exiled Esports, Ancient World Gaming, Next Level Racing, Swordog, Premier Racing Setups, Sim Rap Market, Design the Void, FGR Excel, and bucked up with that Bloomquist chassis and Jay Dickens engine build, making his 10th start in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
And Bobby Rafferty is the first driver out there on the track as we get ready for qualifying here at Lanier. He will take the green flag. Also out on the track with him is that number 69 machine. That's Aiden Young from Dalton, New Hampshire. Coolray Cooling and Heating, Young Gun Creation, Simtrax Broadcasting, Gambler Motorsports. He has 1 career win here with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
It looks like Rafferty puts down his first time, a 13.45. Just behind him, Aiden Young with a 13.63. We'll see if either can improve on their next time by.
As Rafferty will end with a 13.45. Aiden Young will improve slightly with a 13.59. And our first 2 drivers are down.
And that'll give us a chance to now see the man, the myth, the 2021 champion, a legend, Tater Williams out there out of Clifty, Kentucky with Coolray, Chip Bangers Racing, Comb Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, DPR, Bangin' Sets by CBR, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, FHP Consulting, KMJ Graphics, and Goat Farm Posse with that Longhorn chassis and Mullins race engine, making his 54th start. Tater puts down a 13.61. And it looks like, Travis, you've got another one of our drivers out there.
The other driver out there is that 28 machine. That is Brandon Combs. He's a regular here with Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Coolray Heating and Air, Chip Banger Racing, B&B Custom Baits, FHP Consulting, Combs Cuts, Bluegrass Media. He has 7 career top 5s. As he will lay down a 13.45, tying Bobby Rafferty.
Yeah, they are tied and tight at the top as we get to see the number 13 out there of Caleb Ramsey, one of my favorite Facebook follows out there out of Lafayette, Tennessee, with plenty of sponsors, including Mud Duck Racing, Spartan Transportation, Sweet Victory Apparel, the showroom at Westwoods, WR1, VLR, Shiftworks Transmissions, and Just Blaze Designs with his Warrior race car and Stephen Fields Racing engine making his 10th start.
Also on the track is that 75 machine of Andy Piercefield from Cumming, Georgia. Coolray Extreme eSpeed TV Masterbuilt Cornet engines. He finished 14th last night down in Florida. His first lap of 14.13. He will improve a 13.82 as Caleb Ramsey comes in just ahead of him, a 13.61.
So still tied atop the leaderboard with Bobby Rafferty having a great week so far, and Brandon Combs, one of our part-time drivers.
We will look for that next group of drivers to head out, and it looks like it's going to be the 41 of Austin McGlone.
That's right, Austin McGlone out of Hillsboro, Kentucky, in that Coolray heating and cooling machine with KMJ Graphics, Chip Bangers Racing, Project X Coatings, and Goat Farm Posse, with the Longhorn chassis and Mullins race engine, making his 27th start.
Also out on the track with him is that Jordan Van Westen machine. Jordan, of course, a regular here from Del Rapids, South Dakota. Pizza Ranch, Norby's Bar and Grill, TNC's Self-Service, Rapid Fitness, Cryer and Blaine. That's an MB Customs chassis. It's his first time a 13.71, as McGlone has a 13.45 his first time around. And that is how they will end up. McGlone with third fastest time, Van Westen seventh fastest, as Van Westen comes around into the pits. Next up is that one machine, Adam.
That's right, the one machine of Colin Voiles out there out of Decatur, Illinois, with Building Systems of Illinois, Logitech, Rich DPC, Trimby & Son Concrete, GT Omega Racing Simulators with that Kryptonite chassis and Mullins race engine as well, making his 47th career start. He's got 2 top 5s on the year, or in his career, and 10 top 10s.
Also on the track is that 22 of Brandon Bender. He's been fast off and on throughout this 2023 campaign. B&B Custom Baits, Limitless Custom Creations, Chipbanger Racing, Coolray. It's a Longhorn chassis with a Phantom race engine. Bender's first time a 13.55, good enough for 5th fastest, as Voiles 9th fastest with a 13.72.
Very tight at the top there. Rafferty, Combs, McGlone, Williams. Those top 4, man, milliseconds of difference. Speaking of another champion, Dylan Perry out of Ringgold, Georgia, our defending champ. Defending winner from last night with the Coolray Rapid Race Graphics, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, MSW Construction, Chip Bangers Racing, Goat Farm Posse, Extreme eSpeed TV, Bangin' Sets by CBR, B&B Custom Baits, and Combs Cuts with that Longhorn chassis and Phantom race engine, and the most all-time wins with 16, making his first lap around.
Also on the track is that 79. It's the rookie of Tyler Bowman from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Bowman Renovations, J&M Flooring, Honor Furniture, Schaefer's Oil, Max Pappas Innovations, Hoffman Speed Supplies. That's a CJ Rayburn race car chassis, as he will come in 9th fastest, a 13.62, as Dylan Perry turns 5th fastest, a 13.49.
So looking at these speeds, it's looking very much like the guys from last night. Even though we're at a different track, they're still going to make a big impact this evening. And it looks like we're waiting to see if the number 9 machine of Jesse Isidore will head out there. That J9 out of Smellport, Pennsylvania with Ancient World Gaming, FGR Excel, Next Level Gaming, Bucked Up, Premier Racing Setups, and with that Barry Wright race car chassis and Dramie Racing engines, making his 10th career start as well.
Also on the track is the director. It's the 3 of Cody Early. He's from Greenville, Tennessee, Bass Pro Shop, Johnson City Toyota, Warrior Race Cars, Vortex Wraps, Oakley Sunglasses. That's an ECR engine he has in that 3E machine. His first lap in 13.80. My dyslexia comes out there. Jesse Isidore puts down 7th fastest, a 13.57.
Bobby Rafferty still atop the Houston Guttering Time Trials leaderboard as we await to see Joshua Johnson pulling out there. And when he does, he'll be coming to us from Waynesville, Georgia, as he begins to creep forward a little bit. Who's this mother? And we got Johnson with Vortex Wraps, Branson Woodward Racing, HJR Cinematography, Speed Ranch E-Setups, Moser Racing, Speed Ranch Shocks with that Barry Wright race car chassis, and Ingram Racing engines inside, making his 32nd career start.
Also out on the track is that Jacob Lassiter machine. Of course, Jacob Lassiter from Dresden, Tennessee, Hot Lap Heroes Racing 789 Designs, Max Green, the Sud Shop, that's a Rayburn race car, custom race engines. He is the league leader in top 5s, top 10s, and starts. As he makes his way around 11th fastest, a 13.62. As Joshua Johnson right behind him, 12th fastest, a 13.64.
As Brett Carlton jumps the head-end line out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida with LTX Home Builders, Water Experts, and LC Property Investments with his Rocket X R1 chassis and Southern Style Racing engines, making his 38th career start. Also out there, one of the newer faces, at least to the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, Sam Seawright out of Fort Payne, Alabama, with AJ Core Steel, J&R Excavating, Grow Pediatric Therapy, Houston Project, and First Bank of Alabama with that Rocket XR1 and Durham race engines inside. Good to have him here this week. We'll see what time he can put down. 13.67, first time by. Good enough for 14th for Seawright.
And with that, Adam, that will come to a close for Houston Guttering Time Trials. It's going to be rookie Bobby Rafferty with your quick time, a 13.45, just edging out Brandon Combs second, Austin McGlone third, Tater Williams fourth, Dylan Perry in fifth. And with that, our qualifying session will come to an end. All 18 drivers made laps there, and we will head on to our carrier heat races here shortly.
That's right. Carrier heat race number 1 of the night will be led by Bobby Rafferty and Tater Williams up front, with Jesse Isidore and Tyler Bowman behind them, with Joshua Johnson and Colin Voiles rounding out the back.
And as we mentioned, this low bull ring should supply some quick racing here, Adam. As we go through our heat races, and our quick time, Bobby Rafferty setting himself up nicely. He's been somebody that we've seen have speed throughout the season here, this young season, as we now head into the month of May with racing. Really only one more event here in May, and then we'll move on into those summer months.
I guess you could say Bobby Rafferty's been having extreme eSpeed on Extreme eSpeed TV.
As they get rolling, we will get ready to go to racing action here. Bobby Rafferty, Tater Williams will be on that front row as they make their way around this Lanier National Speedway.
I'm eager to see kind of the Rafferty versus Williams battle. Kind of the new guy versus the league veteran.
Tater Williams is someone, especially after last night, looking to get back into victory lane. Already has 2 wins here on this season. wanting more, as he will start outside row number 1. And then behind them in row number 2, Adam, you got a couple rookies here looking to make a name in this series as well. As the pace truck pulls off of turn number 4, we've got 8 laps here in Carrier Heat Race number 1. Green flag waves. Tater Williams to the outside. Rafferty will jump to the inside through 1 and 2.
That's right. Rafferty going to try and hold it up at the top lane, but Williams finding a lot of speed there down low. They almost touched for a brief moment, but also for a brief moment was that lead for Williams, but high lane working on the straightaway for Rafferty.
Rafferty has that outside momentum as he makes his way around. He'll pull ahead down the backstretch. Tater Williams crossed him over on that first lap to get to the inside. As they continue to battle, they'll get it sorted out as it's Rafferty with 6 laps to go.
Yeah, Rafferty kind of forcing himself to go a little lower than we saw him do for the first couple of laps, and now Tater's holding that high lane, giving the chance for Bowman really to catch up. Now Bowman's on kind of that back quarter panel of Williams. Not sure why he's not getting the speed as Rafferty, for the moment, pulls away.
Rafferty out front. He's got about 0.3 of a second lead over Tater Williams. As now Tater Williams trying to hold off Bowman behind him. Isidore watches on from 4th as we're halfway with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, that battle of 2, 3, 4, a lot tighter than the space between 1 and 2, but Rafferty, give credit, he is on one this week, and as they start to swing out into single file line, we'll see if anyone can capitalize off a mistake. Isidore looking to capitalize off something from Bowman, and he might be able to sneak inside there.
Bowman got a little shaky out of turn number 2 as we have 2 laps to go. That opened the door for Isidore. Unable to take advantage of it, but Bowman did lose that spot on Williams that he was right behind up until that point, as Rafferty will take the white flag. Tater Williams trying to chase him down.
Great start of the night for Rafferty. Could he be continuing what he did last night? This is a good start.
He'll make his way through 3 and 4 for the final time. Tater Williams will make an attempt. It's not enough as Heat Race number 1 goes to the 77, the rookie of Bobby Rafferty. So Carrier Heat Race number 1 down. We will move on to Carrier Heat Race number 2.
And jumping into Carrier Heat Race number 2, we'll have Brandon Combs out front, side by side with Dylan Perry. Sandwiched in the middle of this pack, we'll have Aiden Young and Jacob Laster, with the new guys Sam Seawright and Cody Early rounding out that 3rd row.
So they will get lined up here, ready to go. That front row we're still waiting on. And this one should be fun. You've got Brandon Combs, Dylan Perry on that front row, but a couple hungry drivers. See if that passing opens up here during this Carrier Heat Race number 2, Adam.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, and I think everyone would like to see that, and kind of take their learnings. And the funny thing is, whatever you learn from Carrier Heat Race number 2, not sure how applicable it'll be later in the races. This track continues to change and shift. But good to see a full crowd. Give them credit. A lot of the guys, hands in the air, just cheering these boys on. Good to have some Wednesday racing back here for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
And that's something we're used to here on the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, Adam, of good crowds no matter where we go. So we'll have 8 laps to go here in our latest Carrier Heat Race. So Aiden Young, Lassiter, they're row number 2. They'll be fun to watch, trying to overtake those front 2 in front of them, as the pace truck will pull off of turn number 4 here at Lanier. As they exit turn number 4, the flagman will wave, and we are green flag racing here from Lanier. Already 3 wide there in the 2nd row.
Combs looking to do exactly what Rafferty did. Very same and similar restart than what we saw. A little bit of contact there. Look at Seawright quickly making his move. That's going to be a guy to watch right now. Right now, Perry's watching the back of Brandon Combs.
So Dylan Perry all over the back of Brandon Combs. Seawright made a quick move. They were 3 wide by the time they entered turn number 1 as he moved to the inside of Aiden Young and Lassiter. He's now moved up into that third spot, and this is that point where they get stretched out. It's really a single lane track here right now, Adam. So we're waiting for a second line to open up that maybe could open up some passing and some movement towards the front.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's crazy to think of maybe a guy realizing, okay, maybe I'm not going to win this heat race, or maybe I won't win the last chance showdown, so maybe what I will do is I'll take, a different lane. I'll just kind of ride and try and forge this new path for future me to have success. But right now, the only ones succeeding are Brandon Combs and Dylan Perry up front.
And they've gotten spread out. Closest battle on the track is that one for the lead currently. Everyone else single file around this Lanier National Speedway. As they're coming to 2 laps to go, Brandon Combs continues to lead out front. And really, if the passing is at a minimum like it has been so far, Adam, starting up front, that quick time and then where you were able to finish in your heat is going to be even more important.
Absolutely. As we approach this final lap, going to look very similar to how we started it. So far, not much passing, but good racing.
As they go through 3 and 4 for the final time, Brandon Combs out front. He will win Carrier Heat Race number 2. So a great performance by that 28 Combs machine, part of Chip Banger Racing. He'll finish in front of his Chip Banger Racing teammate, Dylan Perry, as we move on to Carrier Heat Race number 3.
And Carrier Heat Race number 3 will be led by Austin McGlone. And he'll be next to Brandon Bender. Sandwiched between them, Caleb Ramsey and Brett Carlton, with Jordan Van Weston and Andy Piercefield in row 3.
So we'll get lined up, ready to go. See if the track's changed enough here as we head into Carrier Heat Race number 3. Where, Adam, we're still waiting for that second lane to come in and give us an option to make some moves towards the front. Really, Seawright's the only one that's been able to move up through the field, and his took a dive bomb of a move right on the start to be able to move up a couple positions.
Yeah, and I would think when we go green here, McGlone going to quickly take the lower lane and then ride up top, and you will probably see similar success to what we saw from Rafferty and Bender. So we'll see if they're able to do it here as we're just about to go green. When those pace truck lights are off, it means we're about to get to the good, exciting racing.
So 8 more laps here in our latest Carrier Heat Race, which we will have 3 of them. So this will be our final Carrier Heat Race of the night. Austin McGlone leads us to green flag racing. Bender to the outside. Bender has that preferred line. See if he's able to hold as he will drift up the track. That opens the door for Caleb Ramsey and Carlton for a moment as Bender's able to hold on to that spot. Caleb Ramsey down against that inside wall trying to make something happen on Bender. On Carlton.
Yeah, McGlone did exactly what he needed to do. He needed to go low, stay high, and a great start for him. If he can hit his lines, it's going to be really hard to pass him right now. And as we, like you said, Travis, continue to wait for that second lane to ride in. And you definitely see it slickening up top there, but not enough to make a drastic move in at least this short of time.
So McGlone continues to lead out front. You've got Bender in second, Carlton in third as they continue to make their way around. You see McGlone running a little bit lower than we've seen here, Adam, but also he is the one being hunted as Bender's able to make a huge move in third. See if he's able to close that gap and hold on to it as we're halfway, only 4 laps to go.
Yeah, quick 4 laps already complete. McGlone and Bender not as close as Bender and Carlton. You see Carlton just trying to make something work. It's not a very speedy track just yet, but he's definitely diving down low there. Something could happen.
He and McGlone both are trying to use that inside line, make something work. At this point, there's nothing to lose as he's got space on Caleb Ramsey, who runs behind him. He does lose some ground to Bender as out front. Austin McGlone continues to lead. He's now stretched that lead to 0.7 of a second coming to the white flag.
That's right. Very similar races for all 3 of these Carrier Heat races, and we'll see if the last one can shake out the same way, but great start to the night.
And Carrier Heat Race number 3, Adam, will go to that 141. It's Austin McGlone, your winner at Lanier, and Carrier Heat Race number 3. Bender second, Carlton third, and Caleb Ramsey will end up fourth. And with that, we'll move on to our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown.
This last chance showdown will be led by Joshua Johnson and Cody Early, with Andy Piercefield and Colin Voiles not far behind, and Nathan Young and Jordan Van Westen starting 5th and 6th here on Extreme eSpeed TV. We appreciate you joining us. And of course, if you want to chime in online, please do so. We love to read your comments, not only internally, but share them with the rest of the crowd. So if you have picks for tonight, we'd love to hear them, love to read them, and love to, I don't know, maybe make our predictions as well. So drop those on our feed. Don't forget to interact with us any way you can, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, email, any of them work. We love to hear your feedback and thoughts as the pace truck lights are off. So next time by, we'll get to go green in this Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown.
So Joshua Johnson, Cody Early, they're on row number 1. Passing continues to be at a premium here early in the evening at Lanier. As you see, Andy Piercefield and Colin Voiles there in that second row. Pace truck's off. We're about to go back to green. 12 laps around Lanier National Speedway. Green flag waves on our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown.
That's right, and these boys are racing right now. Johnson holding the lead early. Actually, the lead is on Early as Early tries to catch up to Johnson. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Piercefield able to straighten it back out, but he's holding 4th right now as Young and Van Westen switch spots real quick back and forth, and it looks like Young wants to get by Piercefield. Might be one of the few passes we've seen so far tonight. Still early, but a good start for Johnson as Voiles creeping ever so close to Cody Early.
As Voiles makes a move, he'll get out of shape on the exit of turn number 4, won't let it stick. That momentum is the advantage for the 3E machine as Cody Early holds on to that second spot. Behind them, Andy Piercefield, Aiden Young side by side as they race for the 4th position. Of course, this will set the final 6 spots in our 50-lap feature tonight. So each spot will matter as you try to advance your placement there. Aiden Young will complete the pass on Andy Piercefield. But out front with 7 laps to go, it's Joshua Johnson.
That's right, and one of the more dominant leads we've seen from Joshua Johnson in this series. So this has got to give him some pretty good confidence. Obviously, still a lot of racing to go, more than half of the Last Chance Showdown. But I mean, this is a great start for him, and he's starting to pull away in a track that's kind of hard to make up ground, at least so far tonight.
As Andy Piercefield powers back on the outside of Aiden Young. Aiden Young had been able to clear Piercefield. Now Piercefield's back. That outside line momentum appears to still be the advantage here as we have 5 laps to go. This is side-by-side racing action for the 4th spot.
Love to see this. You know, Young's been trying hard to get by Piercefield, but credit to that 75 machine not making it easy at all as they are almost nose to nose at the line. This is going to really shake out pretty nicely. The best racing we've seen all night.
Well, Aiden's able to use that inside line, which we haven't seen work. He hasn't been able to complete the pass, but he's at least able to pull neck and neck. And both of these cars are gaining on the 3rd spot of Colin Voiles as that 1 car begins to come into picture.
Yeah, this is timing out where one more lap around, we'll hit that final lap, and it could be a little bit of a shake-up towards the end. I think this Piercefield Young one's going to be the best, tightest finish we'll see all night.
Joshua Johnson will take the white flag. He's got a 2.5 lead over Cody Early up ahead as we watch this battle for 4th. Joshua Johnson up front down the backstretch. He will pull through turns 3 and 4. He will win our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. Cody Early, as we go back to that battle for 4th, it will be Piercefield at the line.
Wow.
Great battle for that 4th position.
Incredible moment there for Andy. Incredible confidence booster. Might be the tightest time at the line we've seen, really, maybe all season. What a performance.
So that will set our field for our 50-lap feature event, Adam. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we've come back, we have our pre-race festivities here from the Florida-Georgia Speedweek at Lanier National Speedway. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plummer service.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook. Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated, and their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
race festivities, starting with tonight's national anthem. And with that, the band will move off the track, the trombones put away, and we will get ready for racing action here from Lanier. We'll take one more quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got your starting lineup for tonight's feature event.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plummer service.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
And with that, we are back at Lanier National Speedway for our feature event. 50 laps around this small track, Adam, as they're about to get lined up here. Who's your favorite after watching those carrier heat races?
Well, if you want to go with the hot hand, and I don't think I've ever made this pick yet, just being that he's a rookie in this league, but you got to think Bobby Rafferty's carrying the most confidence tonight. He's starting in a great spot where if we can stay pretty caution-free and hit some green flag lap runs, Bobby Rafferty looks like the guy now. I don't always want to pick the favorites, right? So I do want to give an opportunity to say, okay, who else do we have in this field that could play a factor? I think another rookie of Isidore. I think we have a lot to see from Sam Seawright. So I'm kind of shouting out the rookies tonight. This feels like one where if they don't end up as the winner, the victor, I do think we're going to see him on the podium, at least one of them. So that's kind of what I'm feeling tonight.
Well, with that, Adam, they are getting lined up. We are going to head to our feature event.
And tonight's starting lineup with Bobby Rafferty out front. It'll be Brandon Combs side by side with him. Second row of Austin McGlone and Tater Williams. Third row with Dylan Perry and Brandon Bender. Fourth row of Tyler Bowman and Sam Seawright. Fifth row of Brett Carlton and Jesse Isidore. Sixth row of Jacob Lester and Caleb Ramsey. Behind them, Joshua Johnson and Cody Early. Colin Voiles and Andy Piercefield. Aiden Young and Jordan Van Weston.
Yeah, here we go, Adam, from Lanier National Speedway. They will roll off a packed crowd here at Lanier tonight. And it is about go time here with this 50-lap feature event. As we will look for, as others out on the track will look for a way to move up through the field. As it is going to be rookie Bobby Rafferty and Brandon Combs leading us to green. And Adam, we saw guys trying to make that inside line work, weren't necessarily able to move up through the field with it, but they also were able to hang tough. Just that outside momentum's been the preferred line here all night.
Yeah, and I don't think we had enough racing. I think 50 laps is going to be pretty good. I don't think we had enough in the short spurts to really get a chance to see this track, shift and use these guys. Because obviously, from Houston Guttering time trials to the Last Chance Showdown, the track changes. It looks like we are now green, and it looks like this is really going to shape up as these guys are going to have more time to watch this track change. Ooh, McGlone sliding up real quickly and now sliding down, and he and Bobby Rafferty might be battling out more tonight.
As they are almost 3 wide for the lead, Rafferty's pushed up to that outside line here quickly. Combs falls in line behind him. You've got Austin McGlone to the inside trying to make it work. Behind him is Chip Banger Racing teammate Dylan Perry, our current points leader and all-time wins leader here in the league. But we have tight racing here early. It's just like that, Adam. We're 2 laps down, working on lap number 3.
Yeah, and these guys, I think it's a spacious enough track, and I don't want to be the announcer's jinx, kiss of death, but I do think we've got enough track space where you're not going to see as many cautions as maybe we see other nights. So I think this is going to give a chance for a lot of green flag runs, maybe some lap traffic later, but right now, these guys are all just trying to jockey for position and see how can I try something new, but also not put myself back so far where it's really hard to make up that ground later.
The front tour knows to tell. You got Dylan Perry, Austin McGlone, 3rd and 5th, using that inside line as they both slide up as they come down the front stretch. Seawright also up there as well. He's up 1 spot. Some great battles throughout. Jacob Lassiter looking to the inside of Tyler Bowman. Bowman's dropped 2 spots since the drop of that green flag. Behind them, Joshua Johnson, Caleb Ramsey, and Colin Voiles all racing for position. They're racing for that 12th spot. As you see Joshua Johnson to the inside, and it really looks like if you're pinned down to the inside, that's not where you want to be. And that goes back for our points leader too, Dylan Perry, is now he's trying to work that inside of Tater Williams.
No, you're right. You don't want to be pinned down on that inside, but where else in the track are you going to be able to make these passes? And I think that's what we're trying to figure out. You are seeing the track darken up a bit right now, but you're not seeing anyone aside from the leader really steamrolling ahead. It's just not happening right now.
You can see it slicking up. You can see up top where they're running it in up there. It's a little bit lighter. It'll be interesting to see, especially once we're 50 laps into this, and that slicks up where it will be, where you want to be. As you see Tater Williams to the inside, you see Dylan Perry and Seawright working hard to move up through the field, as Bobby Rafferty still trying to hold off Brandon Combs and Austin McGlone.
20% of the way through this race, this is normally when you would kind of call out our hard chargers, but really we've got 1, 2, 3 drivers who are up 2 spots. That's the biggest gains we've seen. Now we've seen Cody Early drop a few spots, sitting in 17th right now. Austin McGlone getting a little closer there in front of Brandon Combs. Man, that battle for second is tight right now.
Brandon Combs will cross him back over, take over that spot on the exit of turn number 2. It's Tater Williams watching this battle on. As As you see now, McGlone will have it coming out of turn number 4. He'll try to hold on to it as Combs looks to cross him back over in turn number 2. McGlone's going to have that outside run. He'll move into that second spot as now Tater Williams tries to make a move on the outside of Combs through 3 and 4.
You know, I kind of like what they're doing. If you continue to just go back and forth, eventually that lower lane, that one that really hasn't been developed, it's eventually going to stick a little bit more. So I'd say just keep up with this, and then, eventually, especially if we stay green, the guy who kind of just stays persistent with it, they might kind of reap the rewards that are slowly being set right now.
So Austin McGlone has closed up that gap on the leader of Bobby Rafferty as we're 15 laps in, working lap number 16. He's down under 0.2 of a second at the line. As he looks to the inside, he'll try to slide up in front of Rafferty. Won't make it work. Rafferty will regain the lead down the backstretch. And looking at this, we're 17 laps into this, Adam, thinking at some point lap traffic may be a factor. And that first car as of right now would be Aiden Young in 18th. And that's a surprising name to be running in 18th here at Lanier.
You know it is. You see a big dive down there by McGlone. Not going to work out, but it is going to get McGlone in the high lane for a moment, forcing Rafferty to get back down. But yes, if we get it over to this lap traffic, as you see Rafferty narrowly holding on to that lead as they go back and forth, he'll probably take it back here. But yes, Young struggling a little bit. You saw him go to the line in the carrier heat race side by side with Andy Piercefield. So I don't think he has his car exactly where he wants it right now. As it looks like we're witnessing live on Extreme eSpeed TV right now, possibly the first big pass we've seen all night as they go neck and neck at the line.
They continue to go slide job over slide job as Austin McGlone will take over the advantage down the backstretch. Tater Williams has now moved up. He's into that third spot, watching this battle on as Brandon Combs has fallen into that fourth spot. Bobby Rafferty driving hard there, inside of one, exits high. And that gives now Tater Williams the opportunity. He'll try to move to the inside as he looks to the inside of first and second.
Yeah, if only there was anything to grab there in that bottom lane, Tater Williams would be our leader. But I'll tell you what, Bobby Rafferty, I think he wishes he didn't take that dive so hard. As you see them both touching the wall there, they are riding that top lane, trying to grab everything they can. As we are just about halfway through this race, and I'll tell you what, Travis, as we continue to watch them flip-flop back and forth, you got to think fatigue's setting in. It's been a while since we've seen 25, 26 straight laps uninterrupted. These guys are used to getting a little bit of a breather when we hit a caution. So I don't think we've seen a race. I don't think we've broadcasted one together, Travis, where we haven't seen a caution. So lap traffic starting to become a factor and possibly a moment here.
That's Jordan Van Westen up ahead. You can see how dark it's gotten and slicked up there. They're up against that wall in 1 and 2. As Rafferty will slam that wall down the backstretch. And again in turn number 3, that'll slow down his momentum. That'll lose ground on Austin McGlone up ahead. Now Tater Williams right behind him. As Austin McGlone up front continues to chase down that lap traffic. Back in the pack, Dylan Perry stuck in that 6th spot as Seawright has gotten past him into the top 5 as Bender now watches on. Even further back, some great racing action between Tyler Bowman. He's to the outside with Jesse Isidore. Jacob Lassiter to the inside there. And out front has caught that tail end of the lead as they're side by side for second. Tater Williams now working on Rafferty.
Man, what a weird night this has been when you track without a lot of contact. Unreal.
Backstretch there. Van Westen goes around. McGlone got into the back of him. And it looks like they will restart. I believe they're giving McGlone the first spot back. Van Westen goes around as the leaders had come up here, and that was our first caution of the night, 28 laps in.
Yeah, and you got to think, even if you keep the lead, that's some damage right there. He hit him right in the rear, just straight blast in the past, and man, that's we'll quickly find out how much that affected his vehicle, and we'll see how long this caution takes. Really, if we didn't have lap traffic, there was a good chance we were not going to see a caution all night, right? And so, pretty dramatic moments here on Extreme eSpeed TV, and I think these drivers are a little thankful they can breathe in and breathe out.
So they will get lined back up. McGlone and Rafferty will first row as we get ready to go back to green. Williams, Combs, row number 2. Row number 3 is going to be Dylan Perry and Sam Seawright. As the green flag will wave, we have less than 22 laps to go here as McGlone's on that outside. And the caution flag will wave. As it looks like we still had some guys pitting there. So a premature green flag, as that tends to happen sometimes, as Rafferty and McGlone will get us lined back up, and we'll try it again, Adam.
Yeah, I was a little surprised they were coming to the line so soon, but they'll restack them right now, and everyone's spot should be protected.
At this point, you got to roll up your sleeves, tighten that grip, and get ready to go.
Yeah,
that feeling you get at this point is it's really when you're that's what you came here for.
Yeah, and I really don't want to see the night kind of ruined for Austin McGlone. I don't want to see his bubble get burst, but I think he'll rebound well. If he had guys who kind of repaired that and took care of it, I think. And really, you kind of see there on the left side of your screen right now, it's just the tip that's a little damaged.
See the nose where he got into the back of that Van Westen machine. But at this point, it's what you have, and you're getting to that finish line here as we work lap number 29, I believe. Of course, caution flag laps do not count here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
I think we haven't seen much damage on these vehicles, so I think all these guys should be finishing tonight. Pace truck lights still on. Getting a little closer.
As they'll make at least one more lap around here at Lanier as they get their scoring sorted out. You know, we talked about Aiden Young running in that 18th spot and how surprising that was. After mentioning that, he was able to make his way up into the 13th spot, so he has moved up. With some guys pulling on into the pits there, including Brandon Bender, Jesse Isidore. Those are two guys that got caught up in that incident when Van Westen went around. But they're lined up. The pace car should try off of the track here in turn number 4 this time by. As it's Austin McGlone, Bobby Rafferty getting ready to lead us back to green. Green flag waves for Austin McGlone. Tater Williams already to the inside of Rafferty by the time they cross that start-finish line.
So far, so good for McGlone. Damage isn't playing too much of a factor. Tater almost comes up on Bobby Rafferty, having to ride that high line.
And with 19 laps to go, don't look now, but Dylan Perry, our all-time wins leader, he is up into that 4th spot. He's trying to work that inside of Tater Williams. He's down even lower than Tater is, as McGlone tries to hold off Rafferty and Tater Williams, both side by side behind him with 18 laps to go.
Yeah, you got to think you got him right where you want him. Beautiful workmanship right there. These guys do such a great job of racing hard, but racing clean. As you see, Rafferty, he's getting close there to McGlone. I think he's getting a little frustrated. Oh, as he rushes the wall once again. Still has good speed, though, as Tater Williams running nose-to-nose with him. And Tater, we're almost 4 wide there for a moment.
This has turned into a great 4-car battle for the lead. Dylan Perry, Tater Williams, Bobby Rafferty, and Austin McGlone, the front 4 cars. They've separated slightly from the rest of the field. Bowman and Combs behind them. They are battling for that 5th spot. As now Tater Williams continues to work that inside of Bobby Rafferty. Out front, it's still Austin McGlone with 15 laps to go as they'll reset to go at it again.
Man, laps quickly going by. This is kind of what we were asking for, though. When we began the night, we're like, man, that second lane has to come in. No one's having success on the bottom. But right now, those guys trying to ride low on the bottom, they're holding their own. As you see Rafferty to go down low for the first time we've seen in a while. Can he hold it? If that was at the line, he may have won the race, but still a lot of racing to go. Rafferty sticking back up to the top.
He has that momentum as he'll get it down the backstretch. He'll look to the inside of Austin McGlone again through 3 and 4. He'll slide up. McGlone taps the wall. That will give it to Rafferty at the line as McGlone battles back on that inside. Tater Williams, Dylan Perry all watching on from beyond as they continue to use that inside line. Bobby Rafferty, Austin McGlone trading that lead back and forth.
Man, Rafferty looks so fast when he dives down there, and I think he's got the position he wants. I think he's taking it back. Now, if he can just stay off the wall and stay clean, he's got McGlone right where he wants him, even with Tater coming up on the inside.
Bobby Rafferty has the advantage now with the crossover in 3 and 4. That gives him the lead at the line as Austin McGlone continues. Bobby Rafferty tries to block him. That'll slow down the momentum of McGlone through 1 and 2. They'll be side by side. They make contact going into 3. Now it's McGlone making the slide job in 3 and 4 up in front of Rafferty as Tater Williams, Dylan Perry to the inside. We've got 9 laps to go.
Yeah, not even sure Rafferty needed to try and block. He was doing so well with his strategy. Is McGlone now carrying that speed, and watch out for Tater. Wouldn't be shocked if Tater's finishing first or second tonight.
Tater runs to the inside. They're 3 wide at the line. There's contact made as Tater Williams has to hold on to it. Rafferty will slide up in front of Austin McGlone down the backstretch as that inside line gets pinched down. Rafferty, McGlone make contact. Up they slide. Tater Williams to the inside as now Austin McGlone has the lead and Tater Williams looking to the inside for the lead.
Oh my goodness, that contact may have just kicked Bobby off the podium possibly. We shall see, but Dylan Perry is going to be hard to overtake, and Perry now at the podium spot. He doesn't usually let those up.
As Tater Williams is right in front of Perry as he continues to make a move on Austin McGlone. Tater Williams has used that inside line throughout the night. McGlone up against that wall. He has that momentum, but that is Tater Williams at the line that time by. As they continue to battle, we've got a handful of laps left.
Oh man, you got to feel for Bobby right now, but nonetheless, he's got to lock in. It looks like Van Weston, once again, a factor. They get by him, thankfully, with approaching 3 laps to go.
Tater Williams to the inside. Dylan Perry even inside further. Austin McGlone has now moved into that middle line, pinching down Tater Williams and Dylan Perry. At the line again, it's Tater Williams. He's able to clear Austin McGlone, as now Dylan Perry will move into second while following Tater Williams.
Incredible to see. This was the Rafferty and McGlone show, and what are we looking at now? We're looking at the 2 recent defending champions. My goodness, that is why they are champions.
So 1.5 laps to go for Tater Williams as he's down against that inside wall. Dylan Perry right behind him all over his rear as Austin McGlone has that outside line. He'll move up alongside Dylan Perry as they take the white flag, as it's Tater Williams with a half a lap left at Lanier.
Just hit the marks, and Tater is going to take one this week.
At the line, it's going to be Tater Williams, Dylan Perry just short on the inside. That's the 3rd win for Tater Williams in 2023. Austin McGlone 3rd. Bobby Rafferty in 4th. You can see Bobby Rafferty not happy with possibly that pass by McGlone, as Bobby Rafferty actually will come home 5th. Tyler Bowman will come home 4th. As our 3 podium drivers get parked there on the front stretch, they'll be joining us here shortly. And what a finish here to Florida Georgia Speedweek, Adam. A great finish there. Really a 4-car battle for the last 20 laps and the win.
My goodness, for a track that we kind of talked about as being the hardest to pass, we mentioned you're going to need these guys to really set that second lane, make that inside work, and with about 15 laps to go, this race just turned into something we hadn't seen all night in any of the portions or the events. So what a race. Really excited to talk to our podium guys here.
So with that, we'll wait for Austin McGlone, our 3rd place finisher, which he has now joined us. And Adam, he's joined you. That's Austin McGlone, our 3rd place finisher.
That's right, Austin. Man, what a race. And it's been a while since we've seen one like this in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, where you have such a kind of mundane and straightforward first, maybe 70% of the race, and then it just, the switch flips. And can you kind of walk me through those last 10 laps, because you went from trailing to leading to where you are now. How are you feeling?
A little wore out. Almost fell out of the seat there the last few laps. Race was good. Just had to wait for the track to kind of clean up pretty good from top to bottom. started out too top dominant, and then the longer we ran the top, the more it got cleaned up, and found a pretty good line, like right around the middle there for a little bit when I got back into the lead. And, I thought that was probably where it was going to stay, and then we got that yellow, and then everybody started packing the top in. So it kind of done away with that, and the bottom come in, and it was still a good race. Last night was a good race, too. For some reason, I guess these setups now at iRacing's got, it just feels like you have no right rear, so everybody is out there and, struggling to find traction.
Did you feel like, towards the end there, maybe, Tater Williams and Dylan Perry, they were just continuing to gain speed? And I guess what I'm asking is, let's say you had 5 more laps in this race. Do you feel like you could have caught right back up, or do you think, if the race ended 5 laps earlier, that was probably your best shot?
Yeah, if it had been about 5 laps earlier, it would have been my best shot. Once they got to the inside of me, I could keep them there, but I wasn't going to be able to pull them up top. The top just kind of went away too far. And bottom did what the bottom usually does here. It looks super slick and looks like you don't get no bite down there, but if you can run it like what those two were, it's pretty good. It almost feels like almost rubber. So that was pretty much my best shot, was just to kind of stick it out up top and kind of hope they got together nose to tail and squeak by them there out of 4. But that's still a good race. And then I fenced it coming into 1 and 2. So, oh well, still a good race and take a top 3 finish.
Absolutely. Good to see you back on the podium. Kind of thinking on the fly a lot for this race. And before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to shout out some of those partners.
Yeah, first off, got to give a shout out to Coolray Heating and Cooling, SS Energy Systems, FHP Consulting, Shitbangers Racing, all those guys over there. Starting to establish our dominance in here, so that feels pretty good. Got to give a shout out to Project X Coatings, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, Goat Farm Posse, Doogie Hauser, Pookie Anderson, a bunch of other guys I'm forgetting. And then I just got to thank you all for a great podcast and all the admins for all the hard work they do.
Awesome. Well, congrats again on the podium finish. We'll talk to you hopefully at the end of this month, but nonetheless, thanks for putting on a great show, and have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Now joining us is our second place finisher. It's Dylan Perry. Dylan, you and Tater really followed each other up through the field. Walk us through using that inside line to get at least a chance at the victory there at the end.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit better whenever it comes to the bottom, and because I don't think I'm any good at running the cushion. So once I saw the cushion was slowing down a little bit, I knew I was going to make my bed in the bottom, and that's where I was sleeping. And I guess I taught Tater one too many things about running the bottom, because he's gotten pretty sporty at it, and he was hitting his mark, so I figured I was going to follow him up to the front, and I think we had the speed, just not enough time. But I'm glad that he was able to hold this one off and win this one, and from going to be able to, I think he ended up finishing 3rd, but glad that we could pull out a top 3 like that.
We watched you there at the end. Once Tater got the lead, you were all over the back of him. Was that you just trying to be patient, or was just nothing opening up where you could make a move a little bit earlier?
It was a little bit of both. He wasn't messing up at all for me to try to squeeze my way into a gap or anything, and I couldn't. I take too much pride in how I race to even move anybody, especially him. So I was waiting for him to mess up, and he didn't mess up. So there's nothing I could do without doing something I never do.
Well, it was fun watching you guys move up through the field in a great battle there at the end. Any partners you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, first I gotta thank y'all over at Extreme eSpeed for being able to broadcast this to everybody. Just for a blank, Andy over at Coolray, Holmes Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, CBR Race Cars, Evans Air Conditioning, Piercefield Media Group, Rapid Race Graphics, Harrison Automotive, Chattanooga Valley, Nudes Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engines, Banging Sets by CBR, GFP, just everybody that helps me week in and week out. I definitely couldn't do it without them, and I'm glad to have everybody on the team that helps us do what we do and keep us all in check and running fast.
Well, great run again here tonight, Dylan. We look forward to talking to you again soon. That's your second place finisher. It's Dylan Perry. As we'll throw it over to victory lane with Adam, it is our winner, Tater Williams.
That's right. I'm joined by our winner, Tater Williams. And, the last time the headline was Perry steals one from Williams. It's got to feel good to, not only from what happened last night, but also to looking at the point standings, knowing you needed this to kind of stay in the mix. Tater, how wild was that one, and how good do you feel?
I feel really good, especially after last night. I kind of let one just slip away from me, and this race was really wild. It was fun to watch, those two up front, and I was just hoping either one of them would make a mistake and let me get in the picture, and I guess that's what happened.
This race felt like it had a couple different storylines. You had kind of the marathon that was the beginning of the race before we got that first and only, almost only caution, and then you had that battle there, towards the end where it just got really wild. Which was more strenuous on you, the first half where it felt like a marathon, or that second half where every turn mattered so much and it eventually led you to victory?
The second half for sure, because I knew I had a P7 breathing down my neck if I messed up. So I knew on that last restart, I saw the cushion getting real thin, and restarting on the bottom, I figured Dylan was somewhere back there, and he's really good around the bottom, so I was just going to hold it down there and try not to mess up, and hopefully that I could get to the front.
Do you feel like your car, if this race had to go maybe 10 more laps, because things were changing every lap, especially in really those last 10 laps, do you feel like you could have held on, or do you feel like this checkered flag came at the right time because maybe that P7 was breathing down you pretty quickly?
It definitely came out at the right time. He was about to get me if we had a couple more laps. We were talking after the race, and he was giving me a few pointers on what to do different and just how I should have been running it rather than the way I was. But I got to thank him. He's a big help to me.
Awesome. Well, we love to hear that. I know he always has a lot of good things to say about you. And before we let you go, I want to have you say a few good things and shout out those partners.
I got to give a huge shout out to Andy Piercefield for all he does for me. It means the world to me. Of course, all the guys back at CBR. There's too many of them to name, but they all know who they are. Dylan, all he does for me as well. Austin McGlone, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, Bangin' Sets by CBR, KMJ Graphics, Josh Vinci. He keeps me looking good on the racetrack. Got to give a huge shout out to Goat Farm Posse, all those guys, and you guys for giving us a good place to be broadcasted.
Awesome. We appreciate you, Tater. Hope to talk to you later this month when we wrap up on May 31st for this month's action. So get some rest, and congrats on a big win.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
And with that, the 2023 Florida-Georgia Speedweeks come to a close here from Lanier National Speedway. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate all the fans here at the track at Lanier. And we appreciate all the drivers here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. We will be back here at the end of the month for more racing action. Be sure to follow Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series on Facebook and Extreme eSpeed TV. We appreciate you tuning in as always and look forward to seeing you at a racetrack again soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.